Welcome to the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 17th of October, 2024, and we had a couple things that are actually worth going over today. They're worth going over because I'm looking forward to, being able to have events for Halloween. It looks like that's what Upland is after too, as well. But so, Skootacular Block Explorers, a sale tomorrow with a registration today. We'll get into that. Images there, details there about the sale and the timing and how that works. And it is that same model, the buy with the USD, the get the Block Explorer, the get the UPX, where the Block Explorer is the bonus. And we've had this conversation over time, whether the value lines up with where it was previously in the USD to UPX exchange, all of those things. We'll talk about that, in a little more detail, but it is a sale. Get a Block Explorer. You're buying UPX with the USD, and it is themed around the holiday, and there's a couple interesting things that go along with it. So we'll get into that. Racing gets haunted in Upland. That is a background change. So we'll take a look at what that looks like for the background for racing. This is highlighting something that is bigger than a little change here. It is part of the being able to change the backgrounds in interactive events in Upland, which is not. Shouldn't be earth-shattering, shouldn't seem earth-shattering. It's just something that's been a long time coming, that quick change, that ease of change, the change for the season. We did have a contest to build the Haunted Season background for the plaza. We do have another background change here in the racing, and it should be that easy. It should be plug and play. These should be environments that should be built pretty easily for Nowhere. It is something that Nowhere offers as far as changing those backgrounds, but I do like the Uplands implementing it in a more broad way, because we're going to have to see it work well when we get into our cafes and we get into our theaters in the very near future. So we'll go over that, and again, a little bit of celebration that we have a launch of something, and people, that looks like it is being successful, or people have seen that it's being successful at this point, and then hopefully take that as a sign of what's to come. And then otherwise, not a lot else in the game. Again, we just keep on trundling on through harvest season, and we'll remind ourselves that we are getting close. We're over halfway through for between now and the 30th of October, so keep on with the task. Well, for tonight, all views and opinions expressed by myself, they're mine and mine alone, as they are always. Should we take as game strategy or financial advice that represent the game of the team of Upland? All views and opinions of those who are guests and contributors, they're theirs and theirs alone. Should we take as game strategy or financial advice, they don't represent myself, the Goldsmith of the Cafe Nightly Show. They don't represent the team of the game of Upland. They are not financial or game strategy advice. Easy enough. Let's take a quick look at that announcement again. It is an announcement. It is a sale. It is a registration in the game of Upland Layer 1. So we will look at all three of those places. We'll look at the announcement. We'll look at the announcement. Yeah, we'll look at the formal announcement, I should say, on Medium. We'll look at the announcement that Upland did in the way they presented the announcement of the announcement. And then let's take a look Upland, because that is an open registration right now, which is always good. Gives us an opportunity to get in line, and when there's something that actually seems exciting to people, they sell out. So that's what those registrations are all about. Getting a good placement. You get lucky, you get it. You don't get lucky, you don't get it. And that's only going to be the case. It's only going to work quite that way when we have something that's interesting enough to sell out. And I think we'll get into that. We'll take a look at some of the art, and we'll talk about the value and whether or not it's really there. And of course, the biggest part of it is we'll see what we see when we see it, but we at least have a place to start that looks promising. So taking a look real quick, here it is right on over in our Upland Discord, easiest place to see some announcements. You can always go into the game of Upland where you see the same announcements popped up in a little different way. I just like the visual appeal of Discord still, and still, get my eyes attuned to that on a daily basis. Here we go. Today at 12:26 my time, that would put it at 8:26 this morning, so early morning announcement on the Pacific Coast this morning, AM this morning. We are looking at prepare to be scared with our array of Halloween block explorers that will be had on offer Registration is now open, with the sale taking place tomorrow, Friday the 18th of October at 9 a.m. PT. But there's more. Prepare for the purge. And again, this is an exciting thing for some people. I still am hesitant on these burn events, but Upland is kind of making a theme of this burn event. They're talking about prizes to come and leaderboards, and we don't have the details. We'll get into what we do know at this time. But again, get ready for an upcoming The Purge of Block Explorers coming soon to unlock some serious chilling rewards. Again, it is one of those Uplands incentivizing people to get high on the list, but you have to give up something to get high on that list. So talk about that. We'll talk about what that value looks like and why some people like it and what it means overall for an economy and whether or not it actually improves the value of the things that are left, all those things. But we'll get into it real quick. Again, let's take a look at this full announcement. We got to look at the time. We got to look at the date. We got to look at some of the images to get us excited or not excited about what's coming for this sale. Halloween is just around the corner. We're thrilled to kick off the spooky season with a special Block Explorer sale. This is your chance to celebrate Halloween in Upland with our exclusive, there we go, our exclusive Halloween Block Explorer bundle. Each bundle comes with 20,000 Upix and a festive Block Explorer to add some eerie flair to your collection. These limited Block Explorers are a perfect way to capture the spirit of the season. And again, the price point on this is always part of the question, right? What is the USD cost? What do you get for, Upix and the cost in USD? And then obviously Block Explorer is kind of the goal here. So let's take a look. This is going to be kicking off tomorrow. Here are the Block Explorers that kind of are going to be the driving force of this bundle sale. Obviously, 20,000 Upix is 20,000 Upix. Halloween Block Explorer sale bundle. Each bundle purchase will get you a random. And I've liked these sales, these random, because it allows people to collect. It allows people to have a preference and then a secondary market to exist. People to get what they get and then sell what they don't want. And people who want something to go and buy what they want. Each bundle purchase will include one of these Block Explorers. There are 7 total unique designs. There's a Rotting Rager, which obviously looks to be a zombie on the run. There's a Cursed Flame Keeper, which is it looks like a living fire event or a living fire inside of a lantern. We have the Eternal Wrath, which looks like it is a mummy. Well, look at that. We do have the Fool of Fright. That is a jester, an undead jester. It looks like skeletal, of course. Hexmaster Hag, the classic witch on the broomstick, green skin and all. Broken Beauty. Oh, undead. And 2 versions of a zombie, with a green zombie with a Rotting Rager, and then the gray-skinned Broken Beauty, which looks like it is an undead. I'll go with Beauty. And then Cursed Carver, classic jack-o'-lantern. Excuse me. Literally turned on the side, throw some little more fangs, animate it, bring it to life a little bit. And again, this is voxel style art. This is what Upland does in Block Explorers and what it does well. And, we have this pixel style this season with our harvest season. That is what Upland chose to do. And we'd say that pixel looks more like voxel. But this is what Upland does best in its art style, is when they give us, a limited graphic detail, limited DPI, or limited requirement of DPI for these are, but actually make something that's interesting. And again, I do have to put that out there that I do like these Block Explorers. I've seen images, I've seen Block Explorers, I've seen art that Upland's put out recently that I haven't been a big fan of, and this is fun. This is a fun bit. Again, the prices, the value. Let's talk a little bit about that. The caveat is value is entirely determined by either the individual who's purchasing it, which is it worth it to me? Is it worth paying what I'm being asked to pay to have and own what I want to own? And then it's determined by the market. Is there a secondary market afterwards? Does that set a price higher or lower than the original offering? Does the original offering sell out and therefore there is a greater demand than there is supply, and then there's a secondary market that burgeons. That is going to be something that gets determined in time. But of course, let's take a look at the details of the sale. Registrations open now Thursday, October the 17th at 9 a.m. PT. Things get kicked off. The sale starts tomorrow, Friday, October 18th, 9 a.m. PT. 350 of these bundles are available at $20 each. You get 20,000 UPIX for the $20. Again, 20,000 UPIX for each purchase. $20 is the purchase price. And then you get the Block Explorer. And again, this is a price point that has gone up and down over time. We say, we've seen some of these sales where you're playing this much of OPEX or USD, this much of USD. You get a Block Explorer. The Block Explorer has this much circulation or this much overall pool. Is there 100 of these? Is there 30 of these? Is there 200 of these? What Upland's done with some of these is these are all relatively exclusive Block Explorers. There's only 50 of each of these Block Explorers. The Rotting Rager, the Cursed Flamekeeper, Eternal Wrath, Fool of Fright, Hexmaster Hag, Broken Beauty, and Cursed Carver. There's 50 of each of those. There are 350 total bundles, so it is essentially like having 7 parallel sales, randomizing what you get at what point, and then pricing each of them at the same price. And because you're not buying one or the other, theoretically, if you're most interested in Cursed Carver and maybe you're interested in Hexmaster Hag as well, and the rest aren't as exciting to you, you buy it and you get what you get, and that might affect how excited you are or how much value you see in it because you don't know what you're going to get. As opposed to if I really want a Cursed Carver at the 20,000 OPEX, getting the $20 purchase price and the Cursed Carver as well, that might have a different value for me in that sale. But as it is, this is a good method. This is a good method of sale because, again, the random pack hit for people. Again, these at the release, there's 50 of each of them. The art's the art. One could say they have a parallel value. They have about the same value. They're about the same circulation until the demand kicks in, until one person or 50 people or 200 people prefer one design over the others, and that is going to be determining what the difference in value is between the Block Explorers. And ultimately, it's not about value. It's about if you're buying it because you want it, now you have it. That's kind of what the hope is for these sales is that Upland is putting things out that aren't just speculative. People aren't just buying to flip or sell. They are buying because they want to have it in their inventory. They want to be able to use it. It's sitting in their wallet, and they can use it during the Halloween season or throughout the year to represent themselves on the Upland game board. Upland Purge 2024 for the Halloween season. This Halloween, we're taking things to the next level with the Great Halloween Purge, the biggest Block Explorer burn event ever. So, yeah, again, Block Explorer burn events, I think that if Upland's talking about the value in Block Explorers, or they're looking at the value in Block Explorers by doing a Block Explorer sale where, there's a declining value in UPEX and the difference is made up with the Block Explorer and it's $20, and maybe that's a higher price now than it ever has been before because the value of the UPEX might be lower than it ever has been before. So what does that look like? Essentially, cost of these is going up and up. And now Upland's talking about just go burn them. No big deal. Burn your Block Explorers. You got some Block Explorers in the past. Burn them. I don't know how I feel about that for my own inventory and my own wallet, but I think other people do like these events where they can buy and trade and sell and swap. And what I'm going to warn you, and again, no game strategy, no financial advice, what I can warn you is that means that there is going to be an incentive to buy and sell and trade and swap between now and the event. If you want to pick up a purchase or achieve a burnable position on the leaderboard, you want to burn a certain amount, you've got to have them in the first place. And the idea here, if we read, the details are still in wraps. I mean, the more details to come, but rest assured, this will be a community-driven event where you will have the chance to work together. This is a different type of Block Explorer burn event where people can cumulatively compete. Is it neighborhood versus neighborhood? Is it city of designation versus city of designation? Is it something that is already chosen for people based on some factor that already exists? Like we've seen things that have been more or less chosen for people based on the NFLPA fan score. If you already have a high fan score in something, you could do things to manipulate it, but you might just stay with your fan score, and that kind of puts you in a bucket. Or if you're already a resident of a certain neighborhood, and that already puts you in a bucket. Or there might be another method of breaking this down into different cumulative groups. We'll have to see. But this is about burning select block explorers with the Halloween theme. So we've had Halloween for a few years. We've had a few different iterations of Halloween sales for block explorers. We're going to see different point values likely applied to different block explorers. I'd love to see higher points applied to older stuff. I'd love to see higher points applied to more rare block explorers. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. But there was a time some of these block explorers for the Halloween, especially the ones that were limited in quantity, were selling for a significant amount of UPIX and a significant amount of USD. Obviously, that's changed. The market of block explorers has changed, and with more and more varieties of block explorers, even the more rare block explorers obviously are commanding a different value over time. And with the different value of block explorers over time, again, people can consider whether or not it's worth burning a bunch of them. Get your explorers ready and stay tuned for more updates coming in a few days. Make sure you to gear up and prepare for an unforgettable Upland Halloween Purge 2025. So gear up and prepare, buy or trade or swap. Get some block explorers that are Halloween themed. We don't know which block explorers are going to get you which points. We don't even know if all Halloween themed block explorers. You might think it's Halloween themed, and maybe Upland doesn't put it on that list. I would say that things that are directly tied to Halloween block explorer sales previously, maybe the Spirit Halloween ones are going to be there. Maybe the ones from last year we had those block explorers, the creepy baby that was like 5,000 of. Maybe the people who got the creepy baby face who got like 1,000 of them. Maybe those people who bought a bunch of them when the market was super low on those. Maybe those people are going to be able to cash in. Maybe there's a way they get a ton of points for those. Who knows? Maybe if you are looking and shopping and there's some of them on the market and you can scoop up the bottom of the market, maybe there's some value there. Again, no game strategy, no financial advice, but it is a time to do so. That is what this warning does. This warning gives people the time to purchase now if they want to participate later in the month. And again, I'm looking forward to it because I've been missing and I've been looking for a community event, a competition of group versus group. I don't care how those groups get broken down. I like group versus group competition because that's where community can come together. And if it is neighborhood versus neighborhood, a lot of those neighborhoods, a lot of those nodes already have communities where they talk and where they work together and they work for cumulative effort. And this would be a great cumulative effort competition. So watch out. We'll get more details as we get them. But it is a warning. It is a warning that you can start preparing. There are different ways to prepare. And good luck to anybody who has a node they want to see, be competitive throughout this competition. And then a warning. We don't even know if that's how it's going to be broken up. But again, that would be a logical way that it may come down. And let's take a look at one more thing. The one more thing we're going to take a look at is if we go back to live updates. Here it is. Look at that. It's that simple. The full moon kind of night racing in Upland just got a bit spookier. Check out the brand new Halloween night sky visible while racing in Upland. This is something we've talked about for a long time in the game of Upland, the changing of night and day. We've had things where Upland's changed the sky on us a couple times, but it would be interesting if we had more seasonality and we have a theme during a certain season and we have the ability to turn the theme on or just race during the daylight. And we have the ability to have different effects of different weather where raining affects the track and where the sun might be a warmer track. Maybe that affects the track as well. These would all be great things to have come into play. But having the graphics, having the visual is fun as well. Let's see your best racetrack snapshot with Upland's spooky season night sky. The more ornaments in the background, the better. This is just a fun thing. Obviously, this does not look like this is one of those flash challenges yet. Doesn't look like Upland has said, snap your picture, drop it, and you could win 10,000 Upix. Don't see that here in the language yet. But if you want to participate, get some pictures, interesting angles. Your racetrack happens to be in the area like Creedmoor that it decorates for Halloween. If that's the case, then go ahead, get this all set up, get these pretty. Reminding me I need to go set my ornaments up in Creedmoor. But this is exciting. This is an exciting bit of small incremental changes in Upland that could lead to bigger things that I kind of have been promised for a long time. But I am not opposed to seeing them play out, and every little bit that we can celebrate, let's celebrate. But let's look for that next iteration. The next iteration, maybe we can have better tie-ins with the background and how the racing goes. Maybe the track races differently at night versus day. Maybe it's going to race differently in the rain versus the sun. If we can have all those things happening for us, that would be great. Randomized conditions, that would be interesting. Also, set your conditions. That would be interesting as well. And of course, it is nice to just be able to celebrate the Halloween season. And that's what this does, is help celebrate the Halloween season. The Burn event is going to help celebrate the Halloween season. This Block Explorer event tomorrow help celebrate the Halloween season. And I kind of said this when we've looked at other seasons in the past. It's been my position for a long time that the whole point of having seasons, if we have them, is to tie into that season. Have a spooky theme for the Halloween time. Have Block Explorers that tie into that theme. Don't go into Sizzle season and have these weird Block Explorers. Have Sizzle season themed Block Explorers, flip flops and burnt nose sunburnt nose and whatever you want to do, sunglasses and all those things for the Sizzle season. Do that during the Sizzle season. Well, we get to haunted season, or I think technically we're in harvest season, but haunted season, you could break that down as part of harvest season. And we have stuff that is for Halloween, and we have a contest that is for Halloween, and we have a background that is for Halloween. So this is something I do put 2 thumbs up for. Do appreciate that Upland is following seasons or thematics in those seasons. And I'd love to see it keep happening. Winter Wonderland, not only do we do whatever sub-theme that Upland does for the cosmetics, who knows, maybe it'll be turtles in space. I don't know. It could be anything random. But let's see a contest that ties in. Let's see art. Let's see Block Explorer sale. Let's tie it into Wonderland season. Maybe tie it into the holidays if they choose to. They don't have to. Again, getting too much into one religious denomination versus another is less fun for some people than it is for others. But tie into the time of the year. Make a snowball contest. Make a way of tying in the season into the activity that's happening in the game. And I really hope that Upland keeps this up, because this is what I've been looking forward to, and I think other people have as well. For tonight, thank you so much for being here. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT, covering the day in Upland. Excuse me. Taking the announcements as they come. Cover them as we can. Cafe Nightly Show, again, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. See you back tomorrow. If you're in the Upland Cafe, please feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours.